V. In our fair district, are you?
2 days after completing Firestarter, Mr. Hands will call you to start run this town.
Could it be a gig coming my way?
Far better. I see a blank page in Night City's Chronicle.
If you attempt to start the gig Heaviest of Hearts after receiving this call, Hands will message you saying the gig can wait.
Ah, at last.
When you first meet with Mr. Hands, turn down the gig.
Sorry, Hands. Rather keep my mitts out of politics for a little.
And people complain when their ambivalence yields no progress. It seems you wasted a trip.
He will lock the door and offer to double your pay.
Wait. I'll double your usual rate and provide support.
Then agree to his terms.
You want to leave?
Sharp, Hands. Got a keen eye for biz.
Or the mission will fail.
Open the goddamn door.
Your loss, not Dogtown's. I'll find someone else.
When you encounter the Voodoo Boys,
Allez! Ça c'est pas territoire!
you can intimidate them if you have at least 15 cool.
I have good news. We will talk.
Mwen fout avec you?
Is it Jago you await? He's not coming.
Assez. Pas voli. En allez.
And they will leave peacefully. Otherwise, you will need to defeat them.
I never intended any disrespect.
When Jago arrives, you can avoid killing his bodyguard if you did not kill the Voodoo Boys and choose the cool dialogue option.
I spoke with the Voodoos. They understood their lives are worth more.
Or if you have 15 body and choose that
Wonder
option.
about the value of yours.
Aguilar, please. It's not what you think. May I explain, at least?
He will then offer to explain. If you allow him to do so and then ask if he has proof,
Know where to find it. He goes to the city center often, Republic Way. The building's a front, occupied by a dummy corp owned by Arasaka. As to Bennett's biz there, ask him, press him. You'll see him, right?
this unlocks the option to meet with Bennett provided you do not call Mr. Hands first. The meeting with Bennett is the only way to get the option to allow Jago to take over Dogtown unless you have at least 10 reflexes.
Dogtown's future hangs in the balance.
Since there is no advantage to skipping the meeting with Bennett, don't bother calling Mr. Hands at this point. When you go to the meeting with Bennett,
Ain't our guy that.
take out the bodyguard, dump the body, then get in the car.
Tell you.
生物技术在这里等待。
It sounds complicated, but I've had plenty of practice.
Aguilar, please, listen to me.
If you tell him that Jago will not be a problem, he will back down and this will end this part of the mission.
Perhaps he has realized the error of his ways. He will support you, as will I.
Well, now that's a different story.
Patch 2.2 introduced a bug where you were not able to disable the implant after choosing this option, which prevented you from continuing, though this was fixed in patch 2.21. Skipping the meeting with Bennett or telling him he will lead Dogtown yields the same outcome, so you could get around the bug by avoiding the meeting or choosing the other dialogue option. If you choose the option where you tell Bennett to forget about Arasaka,
Why? Because you are in a car with Havana, while Tokyo is somewhere out there.
This a geography lesson?
he will get angry and exit the car. Be sure to follow him before the time expires, otherwise he will go back into the building.
You won't let it go. Is that it? Well, fine. Your legend hands here. Enough!
After defeating him, You are given the choice to allow him to lead Dogtown or to have Jago take over.
Throne, it is mine to give, but to a soldier, not a corporate puppet. Yes, Bennett, enough. A fool then and a fool now. You are out. Done. Jago will lead, and you will do nothing but nod, smile, and support him.
Choosing Jago will unlock new options later on. Otherwise, the outcome is the same as if you never met with Bennett.
Have you anything else to add?
Bennett's out of the picture too. Made him rethink his deal with Sokka. He'll back Jago now.
He'll what? I believe I made myself unequivocally clear. Bennett is to become Barghest's leader and Dogtown's ruler. Whatever soul-searching you might have done, forget it and undo this mess. Elsewise, our contract is void.
If you completed Balls to the Wall and saved Paco and Babs, you can find them at the Black Sapphire observing the wake. While there are many possibilities that can lead you to this point, there are really only two sets of choices once you get here. The first set of choices result from skipping the meeting with Bennett, telling him Jago will not be a problem, or fighting Bennett and telling him he will lead.
I met earlier with the Lieutenant Colonel. We had a lovely conversation talking of this and that. In the end, we both agreed Dogtown needs a strong leader. That leader will be Bennett.
If you tell Bennett that he will not have a new toy, he will shoot Jago.
Terms cannot change, Bennett.
If you tell Bennett that it is a fair price to pay,
You will pay it.
and then tell them to show respect for the dead, Jago lives and Bennett takes over.
That could work.
We have a deal.
If you show your weapon at the first opportunity, Jago lives and Bennett takes over.
If you would unleash hell upon Dogtown, just know this pistol will be the first hound out of it.
Fine.
We have a deal.
If you choose fair price to pay
It's a fair price. You will pay it.
and then show your weapon, Bennett will shoot Jago unless you have at least 10 reflexes and shoot Bennett first.
That'll be all, Jago.
Wait, let's talk!
We've talked enough.
You bore me, Bennett.
If Bennett dies, you can find a note on him outlining his plans to obtain Jago's contacts and records. The second set of options are given if you defeated Bennett at the meeting and told him that Jago will lead.
That someone is you, Jago. You have our full support.
Want Dogtown, Jago? Take it.
You will tell Bennett that Jago will take over and Bennett will demand control of Terra Cognita.
Exclusive rights to TC? Have you fucking lost it?
I can run numbers too. I want what's due to me.
If you tell Jago he will not get a new toy, Bennett kills Jago. If you tell Jago that it is a fair price to pay, he agrees, and Bennett keeps Terra Cognita regardless of which dialogue you choose after.
We have a deal.
Hope I won't regret it.
If you show your weapon at the first opportunity, Bennett lives but gets nothing.
Perhaps if you do not agree, I could persuade you.
Fine.
We have a deal.
Once the choice is made, you can briefly talk to Bennett and Jago.
May I call my pilot now? To have the engines warmed and my rum chilled? Tend to our garden here, Jago. A creative mind is the foundation for fruitful business.
I've got my work cut out for me, but I won't disappoint.
Then leave the Black Sapphire and call Mr. Hands. When the conversation is over, you will see the image displayed on the building next to the Black Sapphire change from Hansen to either Bennett or Jago depending on who you chose to lead Dogtown.
The word is Dogtown has a new alpha.
Your Bennett's an apex predator. Gonna make a fine new Hansen.
And Jago will never challenge again.
If Bennett takes over and kills Jago, Mr. Hands will be upset over the loss of his contacts and will reduce your payout.
What happened, Hands. Time to live with it.
Do you know what else happened, V? I just reduced your cut. I hope you can live with that. That'll be all for now. I'll be in touch.
Two days later, he will message you and mention that Jago's influence is sorely missed.
The word is Dogtown has a new alpha.
If Bennett takes over and Jago lives, Mr. Hands will be pleased and give you the full payout.
With a sensible partner at his side, he stands to achieve more than Hansen ever could. Marvelous work, V. Worth every penny and more. That'll be all for now. I'll be in touch.
In the text later, he will mention that the two are now working in tandem. If Jago takes over and Bennett lives, Mr. Hands will lower your pay.
Jago's got a good head on his shoulders. Just the man you need.
And to Bennett, terra cognita. Kind of you. The problem is, you sliced up a cake that wasn't yours to share. I am not pleased, V. I just reduced your cut. I hope you can live with that. That'll be all for now. I'll be in touch.
But will text you later to tell you that Jago will be a good leader and that Bennett will not stand in their way. The outcome is nearly the same if you end up shooting Bennett.
So, you flatlined Bennett with your own hands. Perhaps you slightly overcommitted to your role. I am not pleased, V. I just reduced your cut. I hope you can live with that. That'll be all for now. I'll be in touch.
Only Hands mentions in the message later that the scavengers have caused some problems as a result. So, should you choose Jago or Bennett? While the payout from Hands is smaller if Jago takes over, Jago gives you an advance that is greater than the difference. Also, you may have noticed that Jago is closer to Hansen and can be seen interacting with Bargest in Dogtown several times prior to this quest.
What you got in the back?
The usual. Implant boxes, Zeta Tech.
Nothing new to report, sir. All's under control.
In the end, while the game seems to push you toward choosing Bennett, Jago is the better choice based on the outcome.
You've seen Lizzie Wizzy. Here. You sure you got your head on straight?
People say, you know who you sound like? Fran Drescher.
Yeah, and the NUS president just crashed in Dogtown. Quit repeating every dumb tale you hear on the street, man.